So hi everyone, I'm Jay and today we are going to see the reliable data transfer in the transport layer. So the question is, what is reliable data transfer and why it is needed? So let's see with one example, that suppose if we are sending any data using the application layer, the data will be passed to the transport layer and then to the network layer. Now the network layer is bit lazy. What I'm trying to say is that the network layer tries its best to deliver the data, but if any data is lost or if any packet is lost, the network layer does not take any action. If the packet lost, it's lost. So it is the responsibility of the transport layer that if any packets are lost, the transport layer will take care, it will check which packets are lost, and it will also try to resend those packets. So these are the main focus of the reliable data transfer. Like we will develop some code, we will develop some method by which the transport layer will provide this all services. Which services? Services like if any packets are lost, the transport layer will send those packets again. The transport layer, we will do some coding, we will provide some method by which the transport layer will able to check if the received data contains any error or not. If the received data contains any error, the transport layer will send the negative acknowledgement. If the received data contains no error, it will send the positive acknowledgement, so and so, right? So to perform this method, to do this task, it will follow some functions. Okay, so the first function is rdt underscore send. Now this function is to be called by the application layer. If any application in the application layer calls this function, the data from the application layer will be transferred to the transport layer. Okay, after that the next function is udt underscore send. Now this function is supposed to be called by the transport layer. So when the transport layer calls this function, the segment in the transport layer will be passed from the transport layer to the network layer. Okay, so when transport layer has created segment from the data that it has received from the application layer, it will call this function, and by calling this function the data will be passed from the transport layer to the network layer. Now these are the functions which are performed at the sender side. Now let's see the functions at the receiver side. Okay, rdt underscore receive. Now rdt underscore receive, when this function is called by the transport layer, the packet will be received from the network layer to the transport layer. So packets which are present in the network layer will be transferred to the transport layer. Now when the packets are received to the transport layer, the packet has to deliver to which layer? The application layer. So to deliver the packet to the application layer, it will call the function deliver underscore data. So data will be extracted and it will be delivered to the application layer. Now let's see different versions of the RDT. The first version of the RDT is RDT 1.0. And the thing that you need to understand in the RDT 1.0 is that we are assuming that channel is totally reliable. There is no noise is added in the channel. Whatever data you are sending to the receiver is getting the exact copy of the data which is sent by the sender, obviously. So let's see the figure or the state machine for RDT 1.0. So you can see that the sender is waiting. But sender is waiting for what? The sender is waiting for the data which is to be arrived from the application layer to the transport layer. So any application in the application layer calls the function rdt underscore send, and when it passes the data will be passed from the application layer to the transport layer. Now in the transport layer we have to make the packet. So to create packet from the data, we will use the function make underscore packet. So the data will be converted into packets, and after that packet which is to be sent to the network layer. So to send the packet, we will use the function udt underscore send. and when the transport layer at the sender side, it calls this function and it pass the packet as argument. After that, the packet will be transferred from the transport layer to the network layer. Okay, now let's see the state machine at the receiver side. Receiver is again waiting, but now the receiver is waiting for the data from the network layer. So it is waiting for the data which is to be arrived from the bottom layer. The sender was waiting for the data which is to be arrived from the upper layer, and receiver is waiting for the bottom layer, the data to be arrived from the bottom layer. After that, the receiver will call the function RDT underscore receive packet. So the packet will be received from the network layer to the transport layer. The transport layer will extract the data. Remember, at the sender side, we actually create the packet from the data. So at the receiver side, we have to extract data from the packet. So using the extract function, and we will pass two arguments, so that after performing this function we will get the data, and that data will be delivered using the deliver underscore data function. Okay, now let's see RDT 2.0. Now in the RDT 2.0, we are assuming that channel is somewhat noisy. That's it. Now the channel is somewhat noisy, it means that there is a possibility that if we send any packet, some noise will be added. There is no possibility that packet will get lost. Okay, so this is the RDT 2.0. In the RDT 2.0, we are seeing the state machine at the sender side only. So you can see that the sender is waiting for the data from the upper layer. Which layer? The application layer. The application in the application layer will call this function RDT send, and it will pass the data. When the function is called, data is passed from the application layer to the transport layer. In the transport layer, we will create the packet using the make packet function, and we are passing two arguments. Now remember, in the previous example we were passing only data as an argument, but right now we are passing the checksum too. Why? Because right now there is a possibility that in the link some noise is added. Okay, so checksum is also passed and packet is created, and we will send the packet using UDT send packet. After sending the packet, the sender will wait for acknowledgement and negative acknowledgement. To receive the ACK or negative acknowledgement, again we have to use this function RDT underscore RCV. So RDT underscore RCV, it means we will receive the packet and we will check if the packet is negative acknowledgement by using the function isNeg. So if it is negative acknowledgement, we will stay in this state. But if the received packet is acknowledgement, in that case we will wait for the next packet. So this is RDT 2.0. Now let's see the last one, which is RDT 2.1. In RDT 2.1, we are assuming that the channel is noisy. We are assuming that there is also possibility that packet can get lost in the link. So let's see what happens in the RDT 2.1. In the RDT 2.1, if any packet is lost, what sender has to do? The sender has to send that packet again, right? So let's see how the sender is delayed. So sender will wait for the packet 0. Now the packet 0, which is to be received from the application layer. We know that when application layer calls this function, the data will be passed. The transport layer will create one packet, SND PKT. Now in the packet there are three arguments. There is a sequence number, there is a data, and checksum. We know the function of the data and checksum, like why it is needed. But why sequence number? Sequence number is needed because if any packet is lost, transport layer should know that which packet is lost, so that it can send that particular packet again, right? So we have to add sequence number. We have to add the sequence number. After that, the transport layer will send the packet using the UDT send. After the packet is sent, it will wait for the acknowledgement. After waiting for the acknowledgement, and after it gets the acknowledgement, it will wait for the next packet. Now see here, it receives the packet. After receiving the packet, it is checking like if it is corrupted or not, as well as the received packet contains the acknowledgement. If these three conditions are true, it will wait for the next packet. After waiting for next packet from the application layer, it will create the packet. You can see that now the sequence number is 1, data is 1, and checksum, and it will send the packet. After sending the packet, if the received packet is not corrupted and if it is acknowledgement, it will wait for the next packet, or it will state from the beginning. But what if the received a packet contains some error? You can see that it will contain some error, or if it is a negative acknowledgement, like it is corrupted or negative acknowledgement, so in that case it will send the same packet again, right? So this is how the IDT 2.1 works, and this is it for this session. Thank you so much.